Well, talk about another wild week in Seattle sports. Welcome to Emerald City Sports, the podcast, episode 16. The gang is here once again. Hopefully, we're gonna go full episode. The whole gang is here this time. I'm Seahawks Martin. We got Jacob E. Navale. We've got Joshua Ngo. We've got the whole group in here. We got the best trio in Seattle sports broadcasting camp history. Here once again to talk about some of the things that have happened this weekend in Seattle sports. We've got the Mariners taking a tough series loss and finally getting eliminated from the playoffs. The Seahawks with a win over the Arizona Cardinals, a little bit of Huskies football and a little bit of Kraken football, and at the end Josh is going to do another Price is Right with us. So let's jump right in. The Seattle Mariners, look, all we got to say is that it was a great run. I mean, no one thought that the Mariners would go this far into the postseason, and they were able to make it to the ALDS, but that was where they met their end as the Houston Astros swept the Mariners 3-0 in the series with by winning games 8-7, 4-2, and 1-0. So I mean, a rough finish, but what did you guys think of it? Josh, let's start with you.
Uh, I think we had the momentum going into it, and I think just some poor decisions, plus the fact I feel like we've been on the downhill since that 14 game win streak, and well, we just can't beat the Astros. We couldn't beat the Astros this entire season, and we still can't do it.
Yeah, it's rough. I
I
mean, coming in, oh, my bad, Jacob. But coming into it, I mean, yeah, the Astros had always had the upper hand, which was rough. And coming into it, we were clearly the underdogs, and the fact that we were even able to make it close was pretty good. Jacob, what did you think about this series?
I mean, I don't really think we lost to the Astros. I think we lost to Jordan Alvarez because he the Mariners did great against pretty much everyone else except for him, and the series right now should have been like 2-1, or they would have had a game today. I was supposed to go to that, but they lost.
Uh,
But yeah, but I think just the Mariners fumbled, like as you were saying, poor decisions, and Jordan Alvarez is the Mariners' kryptonite as of right now.
yeah, Jordan Alvarez was just on fire. The walk-off in game one and then another homer in game two. And I mean, that third game was the one where we were so close. Come on, like 18 innings. There was a 14th inning stretch for the people there at the game. So it was going on forever, and the Mariners were holding on tight up until that 18th, and eventually, something had to give in, and unfortunately, it was the Mariners. But this season was something that a lot of people will remember forever. Look, we didn't make it to the World Series. Every team's goal is to win it, but the fact that we were even able to make the playoffs, that's a big deal in Seattle sports because we have not been able to do that for 21 years. The Seattle Mariners have not been able to do that. So this is big. And they're still a young team. They still got things to fix. But next year, I feel like they'll come back even better. They might even make it to the ALCS. Heck, they might even make it to the World Series. So I don't really take this loss as bad as I think I should be. But did you guys take this loss hard in any way, Jacob?
Honestly, like it's just the start of it. It's just the start of the Mariners, I'd say dynasty almost coming up soon. Their team is looking nice, all really young, similar to the Guardians, got a really young team. And I think they're gonna go big this offseason, probably get a big name. I'm guessing they're gonna get like one of the best players in the league, maybe Aaron Judge, even if they throw that much money at him.
Yeah, Judge
Maybe
is
even
possible.
maybe even Jacob DeGrom. There's a lot of different options.
And Josh, did you take it hard or do you feel positive?
I mean, I told you guys before this recording, I did cry when they lost. It was.
Now, well, now that is a sign that somebody's very passionate about that team. If they cry over an elimination, Josh, that's pretty funny. But
I haven't done that for any other team for some reason. That it just hit me. It hit me hard. Even for the Sounders, like it didn't hit me that hard. But it was just so close. Like record-breaking, longest postseason game in history. I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
Oh yeah. Well, on the bright side, Josh, now you gotta go to homecoming because there's a funny story. So a few episodes ago,
No.
before we started recording, Josh was talking
Oh
about
shoot.
like if the Mariners were able to make it far enough that he would skip homecoming to watch the Mariners games instead. So like Jacob, is that a good idea? Like let's say the Mariners actually made it that far. And would Josh would it be worth it to skip homecoming to watch a Mariners game? Because like
Okay.
I think you should go to homecoming over a Mariners game, but Josh wants to go to a Mariners game over home. I mean, watch a Mariners game over homecoming. So like Jacob, I think it comes down to you. You're the tiebreaker.
All right. So, I actually saw this before. I know this guy who missed homecoming to go to yesterday's Mariner game.
Ooh.
That was a tough one. But I'd say go to homecoming because it's a win-win in my opinion. Because what do you call it? You're going to homecoming, you're gonna have fun. And if the Mariners lose, why would you want to watch them lose? And if they win, they won, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean,
True.
Josh.
It is ALCS. It is ALCS. Two, I think it would be game 4. So a possible sweep. But who cares? Who cares? We'll wait till next year. Next year, we'll see what
I
happens.
think Josh is done talking about the Mariners.
I'm done.
Sorry,
Move
sorry,
on.
Josh. Sorry, Josh. Next episode, we're talking more Mariners, especially with the new,
Yeah, let's talk about
people
rebuilding. Let's
let's talk
brush
about
all
that.
this playoff
Yeah,
aside.
we'll
Let's
talk about
move
that
on
next
to
episode.
the Mariners getting Aaron Judge. Hot take.
Hope, that might
Not even
actually
a hot
happen.
take.
That
Not even
that
a hot take.
that I think that
Passionate take.
mean that's a very hot take because I feel like Judge is gonna stick with the Yankees, especially since the Yankees are a big name in organization and
Didn't they lose to the Guardians yesterday?
yeah, they did actually, but I mean, they're still
Series is over.
but they're still a big name organization, and that means that they have a lot of money that they can give Aaron Judge because, like, no salary cap in the MLB, which I think is kind of stupid. But yeah,
I think he's
mean,
gonna pull a Russ. I think he's gonna
Pull a
try to
Russ.
prove that he can still play good on another team, and the Mariners are the team to do it.
And the Mariners have a
Well,
lot of money.
And the Mariners have a lot of money. Yeah.
hopefully enough to pull Aaron Judge all the way over to the West Coast. Speaking, you started talking about football with Russell Wilson there, so might as well get on track to football here. The Seahawks are now 3-3 after a shockingly defensive game and a 19-9 win over the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Geno Smith, didn't have his best game. No touchdowns, no interceptions, 197 yards, 20 for 31. So, not like a big game from Geno Smith, but he was game managing and he was doing well. But the biggest story is probably Kenneth Walker here. 21 carries, 97 yards, 4.6 average and a touchdown. He was amazing. What do you Josh, so let's start with you. What did you think of Kenneth Walker today?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I did not watch any of the game today. Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
You're doing a sports podcast and you don't watch the Seahawks game?
Yeah.
How do you even get prepared, man? All right. I guess
I'll get prepared. Yeah. What? Ask Jacob. Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
I guess I'll have to ask Jacob instead.
My-
Jacob, what do you think of Kenneth Walker?
Kenneth Walker. Okay. Yeah, he had a really great game. Like you're saying, he had a lot of pretty good yards. Good touchdown, I guess. One touchdown. I mean, that's pretty good, but let's be honest. He had a lot of carries. They're forcing the ball to him a lot this game. I mean, it was kind of a game for him to prove himself, but I mean, if you're giving a man who's like that good of a running back that many carries, I think he's gonna do fine. I mean, yeah, big defensive game, but our O-line looked horrible, man. That was disgusting.
Yeah, our O-line really needs to fix themselves up. I think Geno got sacked 5-6 times in this game. And so, I mean, yeah, especially that right side. Abe Lucas was having a lot of trouble against those Cardinals defensive linemen. And I mean, they gotta stop with the penalties here. Like false starts, the holdings, they're just shooting your team in the foot. We're lucky we got out of this with the win. But I mean, kudos to the defense. I mean, for so long, for a while, we were asking the defense to finally step up and finally do something, and they really did do it. Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen are the best rookie cornerback duo I have seen. Probably because they're the only rookie cornerback duo I've ever seen. But I mean that does not take away from the fact that they were really good. Kobe Bryant with his 4th forced fumble, and Tariq Woolen recovered that fumble again and then got his 4th interception and his 4th straight interception in a row. Those two have been on fire, and I mean, they're like on the Fox graphic today. They were talking about Tariq Woolen being the next Richard Sherman. I mean, is that possible? Josh, I mean, I know you didn't watch the game, but I mean, I think you've seen enough of Tariq Woolen to make an opinion on this.
I mean, why not? It's only the rookie season, and there's still a bunch of time that he can use to grow, get used to the NFL. And yes, I think there is a chance he could become Richard Sherman, if not better.
He could be better. I mean, Sherman, the thing that held Sherman back was his speed. Sherman wasn't exactly the fastest guy. He only ran a 4.6 40-yard dash. Meanwhile, Tariq Woolen here, he's got Richard Sherman's build, but he runs a 4.26 for a 40-yard dash. So he is has a lot more athleticism. Jacob, how about Kobe Bryant? Now, Kobe Bryant, he's playing more of a nickel spot, but he's still making an impact. What do you think about Kobe Bryant? What could he bring to the table throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, he's really great. He has, I think, the most forced fumbles in the league, if I'm not
Yeah, he's
mistaken.
up there. He is up there.
Yeah, he's crazy. He reminds me kind of like a Jamal Adams because he's like a good hitter in coverage. To be honest, I haven't really seen him that much in coverage or seen him do much in coverage. I mean, the ball's not really getting thrown to him. He's not, which means he's not getting any interceptions, but
that also does mean that he's covering the receivers really well. They're not going to throw to him that often.
Yeah, like AJ Terrell, he barely gets thrown to because he's locking them up. But the case with Tariq Woolen, I don't think his coverage is as great, but that's what he uses to get the ball thrown to him and get the interceptions.
Yeah, and I love his burst of speed whenever the ball's thrown his way. He picks up his speed and he's able to jump the route or jump high enough with his build that he's able to get over the receiver, as he did with Hollywood Brown today. He was able to stay in front of Hollywood Brown and pick it off, because I mean it did seem really easy for him because Kyler Murray's ball was clearly underthrown. Kyler Murray is he's not good during double XP weekend, isn't he? Played another horrible game. 1 interception, 222 yards. I mean, he did. I guess he did better than Gino, but I mean, Gino didn't throw any picks. So, still,
Wait,
I mean,
was this weekend double XP weekend?
I'm assuming so because if you check the Seahawks Instagram, they posted a graphic of Pete Carroll troll in the Cliff Kingsbury pose, where during the 2020 NFL draft, when everyone was doing it from home, Kingsbury was like in his house and there's like a giant desert behind him. It's pretty funny. So the Seahawks admin, they changed it up to be Pete Carroll sitting there, and his screen said double XP weekend as a dig to Kyler Murray and his gaming obsession, I guess. That was ruthless. But I'm assuming it's double XP weekend if they put it on there, so I'm assuming it's double XP weekend. But I mean, that just makes it even funnier. That's a very big dig at Kyler Murray. So moving on from the Seahawks here, let's go to a little bit of college football for a second. Now, Josh, Jacob, you guys were at the Washington-Arizona game on Saturday, where UW won the game 49-39 behind an amazing performance from Michael Penix Jr. 36 of 44, 516 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And what was the atmosphere for you guys there? I mean, like, I've never been to a college game, but I mean, I know you guys have been. So what is it like?
It's really loud, and it's different from the NFL because the NFL is more just like all the noise around you is just like people screaming, yelling, rooting for the team. But in college, you got the band playing the drums and the trumpets and all that. So really preppy, a lot more preppy. It's really fun. It's really fun to go to.
And what do you think of
Josh?
the college experience, Josh?
I actually I haven't been in a college football game in like 4 years, so I got free tickets, as I said, but wow, it's amazing. Really big stadium. Like my seat was like vibrating under me, like with all the noise and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean the college experience is great, and I mean college fans are definitely a lot more rowdy than professional football leagues or baseball league fans. And so I mean that was a clear example of that was the Tennessee versus Alabama game where Tennessee beat Alabama in the final seconds with a game-winning field goal. The fans rushed the field, and I mean you think that's normal for a college football game. They took down the goalposts of on Tennessee's field. They took it down and paraded it out of the stadium and onto the streets of Knoxville, Tennessee. Now that is very loyal. I wouldn't say loyal, but that is very rowdy of Tennessee fans. But I mean that's another reason you gotta love college football. I mean the fans just they're in their own worlds, their own atmosphere, and they're just wild, so much more wild than I mean they're more college football fans are more wild than Seahawks fans, which is crazy to say, but it's true. I mean, college fans just have a bigger commitment. They're more into the game because it's their school. They're repping their school. They want to be there and beat the enemy, and it's great to see. I mean, wow. But another thing about that UW game was our very own Jacob here. He got a picture with Michael Penix Jr. I mean, not a picture, but it was more like it's called a BeReal. Now, I mean, I don't, yeah, there's the BeReal right there. So Jacob, I mean, take us through what happened. Take us through what happened when you did that BeReal with Penix, dude.
Okay, so this was a lot after the game. This was maybe like an hour after the game. We were sitting in our seats and we were streaming the Mariner game on our phones because it was during that long game. And yeah, it was an hour after the game. We were just watching, waiting for the Mariners to get a run. And then I look over in the corner of my eye, I see Michael Penix signing footballs or whatever. There's barely anybody there. So he's just chilling on the field. So I was with a few people and they're like, oh, go get an autograph or something. I didn't have anything for him to autograph, so I just had him take my BeReal.
Now that is gonna be a legendary photo for the ages. I mean, Jacob's keeping that forever for sure. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, it's nice of Penix to do BeReals and interact with the fans like that. That's really cool. Now to hockey. I'll be honest. I know pretty
hold
much
up.
not.
Can I say one more thing about college football?
One more thing. Yes, sir.
You said it was crazy how Tennessee took down the goal post or field goal. What do you call it? University of Washington, they did that a long time ago, I think in the 90s or something, and they dumped it in Lake Washington.
Oh my
All the fans
gosh.
were there, took it out the ground.
Oh wow.
They carried it all the way and dumped it in Lake Washington. Like,
Yeesh. College fans are just a different breed. But it's pure entertainment. So I mean you gotta love seeing those fans just go wild. Yeah, college football is just great. So we're moving on from football and all the main sports. Now we're going to hockey. And I'm being honest here. I know literally nothing about hockey. So I mean the Kraken, I guess I semi follow them. I mean I follow them on Instagram. I guess that's good enough. No, it's not good enough.
No.
But they played I believe 3 games so far this year. So Josh, I know you're a pretty big Kraken fan. What do you think about the Seattle Kraken so far?
Okay, so we started the season 3 games in, 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 overtime loss. You actually get a point for losing in overtime.
Okay.
Yep.
Never knew about that. That's pretty cool.
But yesterday they lost against the Vegas Golden Knights 5-2. Vegas scoring 5 straight goals to open the game. The Kraken. I feel like last season, it was all about the goaltending not being able to show up and scoring goals. This season, it's still about the goaltending, but this time we did I think we got a new goaltender and we tried it out this game, but he was so bad that we had to take him out and put in Grubauer, who was our goalie that we drafted in the expansion draft. What was it, last year? And he's like I mean, the reason they put the other guy in was because Grubauer is bad. So it's just like our entire goalie team can't stop goals, and that's just really why we're losing. Our offense is amazing. Like first game of the season, we were leading, I think, like 4-1 until the other team came back and forced overtime. It's just
Wow.
it's
I
all about
mean,
the goal tenders, and
I guess I mean I've seen it because I'm like because usually I see hockey scores being really low. It's always been like 2-1, 1-0, and I see cracking games. I'm like, well, how do you score that many points? I guess I see it now. The goaltending is really bad. I heard that Grubauer guy was really bad, and they had to bring in that other guy. And then now you said that guy's also really bad. Now they had to bring in the Grubauer guy back in. So I mean, like, oh yeah, those Kraken really do need to get some better goaltending in there. But what about like isn't it also an issue because of defense not being able to guard their zones or whatever it is? I mean, I sound really
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
sound
defense
really stupid
also
trying to
needs to
talk
step
about
up.
hockey right now.
Like, come on, like I get what you're trying to say. I don't know anything about the Kraken or hockey. I go to the games, no clue what's going on. When they score, I go like, "Wah," or whatever. But I know nothing about it. And I know who Grubauer is. I know that he was supposed to be one of our best players, and he sucks. And Martin, like you were saying, the other defenders also got to help out. Like, they can't just be throwing shots at Grubauer and him not having any line of protection, I guess.
The way we talk about it, it almost sounds like we're talking about like it's like soccer on ice with sticks, which is I'm assuming not how hockey is supposed to go. So I mean, Josh, you're our hockey expert here because Jacob and I know
Yeah,
absolutely
I
nothing.
mean, I didn't watch it beforehand, but I've learned a lot about like the game just watching. But here's what's going on really. Our offense is great. It's been they like they put up a lot of shots in the first half, like abnormal kind of stuff. And then as well as the defense actually stops them in the first period. But after that, they let in I think they get tired and they let in a lot more shots. And that's more shots the goalie has to save and more shots that are gonna be let in. Our penalties are okay. Like we actually have slowed them down rather than last season, which too many penalties. This year, better. I would like it to go down, but better.
Okay, I mean, I
Last
see
season
what
was
you're
horrible.
saying there. Now I guess I understand a little more. So I will definitely talk about the Kraken a little more, and Josh will be tutoring us all about the game of hockey. All right, Josh. Let's hand it over to you if you want to do another prices, right?
Okay, so Jacob won it last week after a Blue Jays esque
Yes.
thing. So first two will be about autographed items, and the third one we'll see if when we get there. We'll start with specifically a white Seahawks jersey that is autographed by DK Metcalf.
Um, ooh, how about we switch off and then I'll let you go first on this one.
All right. White autograph jersey. So is the jersey Metcalf's jersey?
Yes, it is Metcalf's jersey.
Okay, a Metcalf jersey signed by Metcalf. I'm just gonna
It
say,
is sold on Fanatics. It's sold
yeah,
on their
I've
site.
heard of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna say $500.
Ooh, that's a lot. DK, he's a great player, but I'm gonna go with 229.
It is $350. So let's see. That would be Jacob
Jacob's
actually
closer. Dang
closer
it.
by 20 bucks.
Dang it. I would. I always seem like it always seems like autograph things are worth so much more, like than a normal jersey, like way more. So I did overshoot that right there, but I was thinking it'd be like somewhere in the 500s.
Yeah.
All right. What's
Jacob, you'll
next?
Jacob, you'll start. The next item, also on Fanatics, is a signed baseball by Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis, I mean, he's a great player, but recently has not shown too much, greatness. I'm gonna put this at 105.
Ooh, that is alone that that's almost like an insult to Kyle Lewis right there. I mean, yeah, Kyle Lewis is a great player. He just his issues, just injuries and stuff. But it's gotta be. Oh my god, voice crack. It's gotta be higher than 105. I'm gonna say 169.
Nice. So here's the weird thing. I think this price is really inflated because I actually went to the Mariners team store like a couple months back, and I could actually like buy a Mitch Haniger baseball for like only $75. Great deal. Anyway, it's the costs for Kyle Lewis autographed baseball is $150. So
Ooh,
Martin,
hey, I was pretty close there. I was
point.
pretty close. I was actually gonna say 150 first. I said, just to make Josh laugh, I'll go 19 higher.
Nice. Okay. Okay. 1-1 apiece. Final item.
All right, redemption right here, redemption.
Okay, so it is a basketball card. There's only one of it in the world.
Wow.
It is a LeBron James card that has 3 logos cut from jerseys James wore with the Cavaliers, the Heat, and the Lakers. All that the specific NBA logo that's on like the jersey. Kind of like this.
Yeah, I actually saw this when it was opened live. I don't remember who it was. Like, I think Backyard Breaks pulled it or someone like that. And I was watching their live stream and they opened it and they all went crazy. I'm gonna
Whatnot?
say,
Whatnot?
yeah, whatnot.
Oh, wait, but let me finish though. I think that was it was like a Charlotte Hornets card or something. I think LaMelo or something. Anyway, it's not how much the card is worth because I'm pretty sure you guys will know that. How much did Drake spend to try to find the card?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh. I remember Drake was
he
looking
didn't
for.
find it. He didn't find it, just so you know. He didn't
Yeah,
find
I
it.
know.
So how much did he spend to try to find it?
Okay, I think Martin has to go first on this one since I went first last time.
Dude, I hear the craziest things about Drake. Like, he'll bet the craziest things on NFL games and stuff, and he'll like win it somehow. Like, I think it was like OBJ touchdown in Super Bowl, and he won like $1 million off of it. He does some crazy stuff. But Drake, I swear I heard something about this, and I feel like it was somewhere in the millions. So I'm gonna say,
Wait, before you say that, the card was sold on auction for 2.4 million.
if there's only one card down in the world, it's a LeBron card. Why won't they just give it to LeBron? I mean, like, there's only one card in the world, it should belong to the guy who's on it, right? I mean, I just feel that way. So it was sold for 2.4 million. Drake spent a lot of money. 2.5 million that Drake spent trying to find the card.
I'm gonna go a little lower than that. I'm gonna say because the box that they opened were flawless, and those are like $10,000 a box. Or $12,000 a box. I'm gonna go lower than that. I'm gonna say like 900,000.
900,000. Okay. The 1 of 1 logo man card for the LeBron James logo man card. Drake spent 200,000 to try to find the card.
Okay, so I was way off in Jake.
Yeah.
All right, this is great. I'm down 2-0.
You didn't choke it, but
Yay!
yay.
No. Oh, great. Okay, so Jacob wins another one. How great. I'm pulling up Mariners now. Down 2-0. And then the next time it's gonna go 18 different items Josh needs to give us. And then I lose again. Yay. No. Okay, that was an unnecessary dig. I'm sorry. That was not good. All right. So that ends episode 16. We went through a lot this episode. So I mean, next episode, now that the Mariners season is over, we might not. I mean, the episodes will most likely be shorter because we're not talking Mariners as much. We'll probably talk about it next week because of, free agents and rebuild, changing up lineups and stuff. So yeah, but that is episode 16, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for listening. You can hear us on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, honestly, wherever you get your podcasts, I think. As it all goes through Josh here. Josh is the man that makes all of this possible. So wherever you are, subscribe, give it 5 stars, or if you're on YouTube, leave a comment or something like that. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys later. Go Hawks, go Mariners, go all Seattle sports teams, because we rock.